28 handicap, looking for help with more consistent ball striking and contact. Also some questions on the swing path, if it's good, if it's steep, we will find out. As we look first at your setup position, the roundedness in your upper back and your arms reaching out has your spine angle hanging a bit low from the setup. If we were to keep that yellow line and get you up to the top of the swing, keeping the same fixed position from the hip, we'll now see that your exaggerated line is much more upright from your setup position, in a way standing up out of your backswing, easily contributing to some contact issues with that variability in your spine. But if we were to start at that more upright yellow line position, you'd have an easier time making a pure turn and not shifting your head up and down in the backswing. So that's one quick thing that will also lead to your butt needing to feel like it's pushed back out in a much more upright position, arms hanging in, shaft might be a little bit lower from setup. I'd really begin just hitting balls like that before you take any of the further advice and see what that does for you standing up and bringing the hands in with the butt pushed back out a little bit more. Beyond that, we'll use the primary path line, which is the tracing of your shaft, to really depict where your plane is, and a quick hinge of the wrist has that face a little shut and working to the inside, tucking the trail elbow in tightly and getting to a pretty flat top of the backswing with lots of wrist hinge at the top. That early tucking position is easy to start throwing away a little bit over the top, and it's not terribly outside to in, but as your body stands up, that club does swing left across the target, leading to an out to in type of path. Ball does look like it starts left, as your club face is not your worst issue. I think we can bypass some of that discussion and work more on your width of takeaway and downswing path. So I think the contact is relative a lot to your setup, so we'll just assume that your contact will improve with a better starting position, and the swing path might not do anything for your contact, but it at least will stop you from hucking that club over the top. So our example here is Max Homa from the face on view. Get in a little bit more. And with your quick-wristed hinging takeaway, it's easy to fold that trail elbow, your right elbow, into the side of your body early. We want to see more width and arc in the takeaway, and you'll do that by calming down the amount of wrist hinge that you have on the takeaway and trying to keep both arms nice and long, working away from your body. If you can do that, the tucking and bending of your wrist angles and elbow relative to your body will happen up near the top in transition, and that tucking in of the elbow later in the backswing will allow him to maintain that tucking position of the trail elbow, working the club inside and lagging behind the body. Now that might not be as clear from this face on view, but the clarity is more for the takeaway getting width and arc on the way back. To follow up with the tucking aspect of it, we'll assume Rory from the down the line view has done the exact same thing on the takeaway, creating good width and arc as we see here, but as he nears the top, the tucking of the trail elbow will go from a little bit away from the body to extremely tight and club lagging behind him by again not getting that elbow into the side of the body too early in the backswing. Get that elbow to tuck in as you're transitioning from the top, squatting back down, and then turning the body through. I know that might sound easy, and I'm fully aware that you understand how not easy that is, but we can again try to get one last view and see that the early tuck of that trail elbow keeps you flat, keeps everything in a very coiled position, and unless you make a severe lower body move to clear your space and get that club to tuck in and stay in a little bit more, you're going to have some issues standing up and hitting a lot of those balls left like we see here. So work on those aspects, wider takeaway, tucking in the arc, and try to hammer down out to the right to just pile on with the advice. But it was somewhat in a chronological order on the things you want to work on from this video, so segment them piece by piece, and then any feedback is appreciated. Good luck. SendASwing.com.